Nerding and hoarding. Quick and dirty DIY electronics.
Hellos. Well, the show is back, the show that everybody's loving so much, Nerding and Hoarding show. Today we are going to build the we will actually build the 509B or 509A, which is 4106 chip-based oscillator. So let's jump straight in. But before that, please look at the sorry state of my workstation. You see this? That is what I call normal, but it's very messy. So I will just make a little cleaning, but maybe you don't want to watch that, so I will put you on a little pause. Alright, I am back from the cleaning, and just for the ones of you who are actually not finding out about the reason, why clean, I will show you. Why to clean? Well, when I clean, I find so many cool things. Look at this. A super good clipper. Clip. It is really sharp. And for those of you who follow this channel, you know I love my blowtorch. Woohoo, but I lost that. And also, you know, I hated the solder I had, but I found a roll of the good stuff, you know. So there you go. And also, last but not least, I found a really cool vacuum tube module. So stay connected to this channel and you will learn how to build vacuum tube modules. But today we're not doing that. Today we are building what's it called? Please allow me to zoom a little bit right here. Okay, so this is a 40106. What does that mean? What does it mean, Nerding and Hoarding? What does it mean? Well, let me show you right here what it means. 40106 is a CMOS chip. I'm exactly not sure about what CMOS means, but it's a chip, and I have this kind of chips. Look here. Look, do you see? Same code. It's actually called CD. So compact disc chips. No, it's not called compact disc. It's called maybe CMOS digital or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter at all. Well, you see, it's a chips. It looks like this. And if you look really careful, you see for CD 40106 BE. So this is the chips we will be using. This is sort of the main actor today, and as a supporting actor we have the double up amp. Yes, there are two alternatives here. You see the codes right here and right here. And yes, we take out them as well. Yoo-hoo. Yes. Alright, super boring. Yes, but focus. We have that here, right here. So we have these two chips, and with these two chips we can make a lot of magic happen. So, schematic. Yes. Please watch the previous video about the design and layout of this project. But just to go through it real quick go through here is that inside of this chip, between legs 1 and 2 up here, an oscillation starts, and a capacitor right here goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. In voltage, it stays totally still right there. Then the signal goes up, then the signal goes here, and then it goes up and down in a square wave. So there you got to our first output. Second output comes from the backside, where we get a triangle wave going up and down, up and down, up and down. And here it moves slightly downward, so it goes up and down through the zero, and then it's amplified by the supporting actor right here, and it's outputted, and it's also going in. So this is the add-on, which is not included in this 10 or less build, but if you're doing 15 or less build, we use the second op amp here to to make a comparator out of this one. And we could have an input voltage here, or we use a potentiometer, so we get a pulse width modulated square wave out here. So we have 3 outputs. Bam, right there. So this document that I prepared in the previous video contains everything we need in order to build this as good as I can, or it's preparing me as good as possible to actually succeed in this build right here, because as you know, I am really good at failing. But because I am really good at failing, I have also developed methods to limit my failings, because I'm not so much crazy about liking to fail. I like to not fail. So the first thing we got right here is a layout on a strip board. So what do we do? First thing we did was take out the leading actor and the supporting actor. Next thing we do is take out strip board, because strip board is sort of the place where it's going to happen. And because I printed this in exactly 100% of the size, we can just simply put it like this, and then take a pen and draw. See where is edge here? You draw that on the line of dots there, and you do the same over here. So you put it all the way up there, so these lines here, although the dots here align with the dots here. Now you take the outline here and draw like this. And then you take a knife and you cut in these lines and break off. Just double check that your strips are in the same way. So now it's in the same way. Did I do it right? I think I did. So great. Then just cut. So take out your best knife or your worst knife if you are like me and have misplaced your best knife. Just take any kind of knife and just cut very precisely in the middle of the dotted line like that, and then just break it off. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so yes, there you go. And this right here, cut that off as well. Remember, you must, even if you cut the back side, which is the yellow side, you also have to cut the copper side, because the copper will be holding together otherwise. So, beautiful. Break it off. Alright, so first thing is ready. So the second thing then, what is that? Well, it is the rear rack panel. And here in the layout I have one drawing of the back side and one drawing of the front side. And for this one I chose a 20 millimeter. That is I think 4 HP if you are counting HPs of your panels, which I am not doing, but you know, everyone is allowed to do it the way that they want. So today I used the pink So same thing here. You trust that the length is exactly as it's supposed to be. And you just draw a little line. Yeah, you can use any kind of material you want here. If you want metal, you can use metal. You can use copper. You can use aluminium. You can use steel, stone, wood, masonite, plywood, sort of any kind of material. I'm using this. It's a masonite board, hard board, because I have a lot of it and I don't mind it, and I really like to work with it because it's kind of nice, easy to cut, easy to drill, easy to sandpaper on. It's easy to do everything with it, sort of. Doesn't look terribly good, but who is counting? And here's a little trick for you. If you want to make one line on the other side that's exactly the same size. So you take the pen and you hold your finger against here, and then you maybe you have to take this finger instead. And you hold your angle right there, and you see, oh, now I'm drawing exactly the correct place, and then you just fold it over and you continue to make the line there. And then you double check, is it actually correct, exactly the same? Well, it's close enough, you know, close enough, isn't it? If you see that it's, well, you see it's 1 millimeter wrong, then you could just 1 millimeter wrong your ruler here. When you put that on there, so you put that on there, and you cut again. So this is just like cutting glass. If you ever did that, just that you use a normal knife instead of a glass cutter. So once you have cut through, you just break it off. Break it off. Break it off. Okay, I will say it just right now that this didn't go all that well. It goes much better if you use a really sharp paper knife, paper cutter. So now we got this sort of thing right here, but you know, this is quick and dirty channel, so we just simply cut it off quickly like this. We sort of pretend that we are a barber and we are just cutting some beard of some old sailor or something who's got real fucking rugged beard, I tell you. And while we're at it, we just cut off here as well. It's not easy cutting. This is not designed to cut in this kind of material. So don't ask too much for, you know, this kind of tool. But you know, it's just sort of, you do one thing first and then you do the next thing. So first you just make sure that you get the material away that as much as you possibly can, and then you take a file like this and just make it as good as you want. You can spend half an hour on doing this, or you can just say, alright, to hell with it, and be on your merry way like that. Which I do, because I'm so quick and dirty, quick and dirty, quick and dirty. Right, stop saying quick and dirty. Nobody likes when you do that. So now just mark out where you want your holes to be. So you see, I am using RCA jacks. You can just as well use mini jacks. Just make sure, you know, that you have your system with your cables and your jacks that fit to those. So I believe that's I'm sorry, I started singing. Yes, make sure your pots and jacks, make sure to measure how large your hole needs to be. I think mine needs to be 7 for the pots and 6 for the jacks, but I'm not sure. I actually don't care all that much. I just sort of do it sort of ish, you know, sort of ish, if you know what I mean. Just drill a fucking hole, you know. It's not rocket science. Doo -doo 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 But I should warn you that if you do your hobby really fast, you will actually have time over, and then you can actually think about if what you're doing in your hobby is actually important at all, or if it's just a waste of time. So if you want to do that sort of reflection, please make sure to build your stuff really fast. Unless if you sort of want to just enjoy the build, and you might not be a sort of quick and dirty-ish kind of person. Think about it. Think about it. So now I fucked up this, but who cares, you know, it's just a front panel, a fucking front module, so who cares? Alright, so where was I? Yes, it's this about, you know, the meaning of life. What's the meaning of life? Yes, of course, it's different for everyone. There are only subjective answers, no objective answer. The meaning of one person's life can be to very slowly travel towards a goal that they will never reach, which is sort of maybe what some people do when they are creating a modular synthesizer, either by building it themselves or simply by buying one after the other modules and building up to something, to a goal that they will never reach, because that's the whole point of it's like a puzzle that can never be completed. And it's both the fine part about it, but also the sad part about it. Because if you truly and really believe that a module will make your life or your synthesizer complete, you will be fooling yourself. And of course, it's okay to fool yourself if, and only if, you're aware of the fact that you are actually fooling yourself. And I am very aware of that. I am putting sort of 12 plus hours a day into this hobby, and I know that it is a hobby that I do only because I like it. So there you go. Sort of the philosophical, psychological part of today's build. Now I will try to actually build something that can make a noise, because, you know, noises are beautiful and so on. Talking about beautiful, I found this while I was cleaning. You see? A cute little robot face, but I was planning on throwing it away because I don't like the face. I think the face is too small in relation to the head. It looks sort of strange, I think. So there you go. You can also make things that look like robots. So this was actually for the power supply, a power indicator. So red would show that the positive voltage is showing, and blue would show that we have negative voltage. But I think it became too ugly. So if you want it, please send me some envelopes and I can send it to your house. So let's see, where were we? We were here, look. So we have actually the module, or no, the panel is ready. And what do we need to insert into it? Well, 1K, 100K. So you take the kind of potentiometers you have. Unfortunately, I ran out of mine that actually look like this. It has a nut on it, and I only have these that do not have a nut, so I have to glue them. This says, now is the time when you're gonna learn something. This says B104. I can't get that to zoom in right there. So you see that? And just like the coding on capacitors, it means, so the B, I don't know what that means, but 1 0 means 10 and 4 means 4 zeros. So 1 0 0 0 0 0. That means 100,000, and which means 100 kilo, because kilo means 1,000. So 100,000 right there. And if we take a look at this, what does it say? Oh no, it says B502. It means 5050 00. So 5000, 5,000, 5K. I was hoping it would be 1K because I'm not absolutely sure about how this will work, but all right, let's take those in anyway, and we will have to make slightly adjustments to the circuit itself. So let's look here. It's quite simple actually, because we are actually not really knowing what will happen to this right here. I mean, these values, I just quickly simulated it, and I think this will become a low frequency oscillator. But what you do if the schematic says 1,000 and you have 5,000, well, then you adjust this one. You divide this as much as you multiply that. So 5 times here, divide with 5 here. So instead we want a 2 micro right there. So 2 micro there, and here, look at what we got there. Well, here we actually don't run into a problem, because this is, I'm sorry, I was pointing right there. And this one is also 1K, and we are using it as a voltage divider. So the only thing that's important is the relation between this side, this half, and this half. And the relation will always be the same, no matter how large this is. So we can actually use any value of a potentiometer right here. And here we are almost in the same thing. Here's also a voltage divider. But the thing about this one right here, it's that it connects our positive voltage to our negative voltage. So this needs to be as big as possible. So here it says 100K, but we could just as well put the mega or whatever. So there you go. It's time to heat up our tools that need to be hot, which are the hot glue gun and the hot iron. That is the soldering iron, that is. So if we just quickly zoom out here, and we can just put these in the correct places. So now we turn this over, because this is the back side, this is the back side. So this is the 100K, it's supposed to be in the lowest part right there. And the 1K, which is 5, we put it there. And the 1K that is 5, we put it here. But no, I realized that hole is a little bit too small, so just drill some more. And as you see, these are not really able to be fastened in any real sense of the word, and therefore I heat up the hot glue gun. You see, because hot glue will make stuff be where you want them to be. So in the meantime, in the time being, at touch the knobs, and that we do as turn the potentiometer all the way to the left and then insert the knob in the same direction as right here. Yeah, like that. Ow. That really hurts. If you are holding on the other side, you'll get some pins right into your finger flesh. Is there such a word as finger flesh? Well, it should be. Finger skin, finger flesh. So add your multicolored pots. No, knobs. Why is it spelled knobs when it's said knobs? As a dyslexic, I think it's discrimination to have words that are not spelled the way that they are said. Everything should be spelled exactly as it's said. So there you go, political statement of today. So you see, this needs to be in a correct direction, and then turn it all the way to the left and insert that little knob right there. And now, hopefully we have some hot glue up. No, not quite yet. So we have time for inserting the jacks. And as you know, I am jack of all trades, and I have a lot of jacks. So just pick some random colors, because the more colorful your module is, the more beautiful it's gonna be, you know. I'm gonna go for a sort of Bob Marley theme today. And with that, I mean to use these colors right here. You remember the order of things? Yes, that looks really like a Bob Marley's. Iron, cyan, lion, lion, whoa, whoa, I'm on the run, and then I take a stand. I have to run like a fugitive. Yeah, that song was released post-mortem when he was dead since 12 years or something, and I was 12 years or something, you know. How ironic isn't that? Yeah. I mean, I think it's evil to actually make someone really famous once they are dead, because they will not get any kind of money, no credit, no experience of the freaking fame. But maybe it's just as well, you know, if they had a good life. But I, for one, would not really not want to be famous after my death. I wouldn't want to be anything after my death, and I don't want to be famous at all. So why would I want to be famous after my death if I don't want to be famous at all? Well, that's a tricky question. I have no freaking answer for you, my dear, beautiful fellow wigglers, nerders, and solderers. Alright, so these jacks, you just sort of tighten the nut right here, and then you solder to the two eyelets. This is really old school point-to-point thing. The mini jacks are available in several kind of ways. This way, with a sort of open jack on the back, and another kind that's more like a little black box, and you will solder it to, or it's designed to be soldered to a PCB. Alright, now it's time for some hot glue right here. If it's not hot, I will sort of make it hot by screaming at it. I'm so funny. I'm such a funny guy. Motherfucker! Did you see? It wasn't hot, but it became hot. So when you're gluing to the back of a masonite board, make sure to put a lot of glue, because the surface can easily be slit off because it is only layers of really rough paper in a masonite board. If you can call it paper. Well, I call it paper because, you know, it is plant fiber that is connected together with glue, which is exactly like paper is, but it's just that it's more rough, thicker. It's like, you know, a bamboo stick is actually a straw of grass or grass, depending on what kind of English you speak, but you know, it's just really thick grass. I mean, it's like grass if you were a Smurf. So if you were a Smurf, you would sort of go fishing with a rod made out of just sort of a normal straw of grass straw. So there you go. Super interesting babble of this particular build. Alright, but this is actually going real well here, so I'm getting more and more nervous that something has got to fuck up soon, because, you know, we always fuck up on this channel, don't we? Yeah, there you go. I lost it, you know, I lost it. Now that I lost everything I hold, and I want to start sold. Can you say sold when you mean soldering? Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. So, now that I soon am gonna sold, I hope that all of this hot glue isn't gonna fuck up my soldering skills. Alright, you know, I still have the lousy soldering iron, but, you know, I am having good solders. A good solder, lousy soldering iron. So let's see if we can just do a little quick renovation of the tip by dipping it in good solder in a little bowl of metal right here. So it's sort of a kind of alchemy now, actually, so pay close attention. We're not making gold out of lead, but we are making a good soldering iron out of a bad soldering iron. Are you seeing this right here? It's so beautiful. Oh, well, the problem with a lousy soldering iron is that you cannot melt solder with it, but inside of the solder there is flux, and the flux might louse the lousy soldering iron. Yes. So it's not working. So plan B of action is bring out the soldering fat and make some nice smoke for the audience. Alright. I have no idea what I'm doing, so if you want to learn this kind of stuff, please watch another tutorial, but make sure that you remember that there are several ways of, there's several generations of different kind of soldering iron tips, so make sure not to confuse those with each other. Okay, and this is the lousy one, is probably not the latest model, if we call it like that, you know. Anyway, the goal is to make the point of the iron very shiny, sort of like a silver jewelry thingy, you know. And you know, there's temperatures and all this. You can set different temperatures if you have a thing with the temperature control on your soldering iron. And that will change things that I don't really know about, but you know. I'm not so much into this whole knowing a lot of things about things. I'm more into this kind of just get the fucking thing fucking working already kind of guy. Alright, so now comes a real important part of this build right here. Do you see the yellow points right here? Here, and here. We need to make them on here. So what we do then is we can count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is line number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we need to remove not the most up one, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I actually fetch this up? Because there are these ships that have 7 or 8 legs on one side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 legs. And there are 7 holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's correct. We didn't mess up. What we did was we made an extra line over here. So the power header will be put here, not on top. So pay close attention to this line here. Usually I put the power connector all the way to the end, but not in this build. So just line it up here and just sort of transfer the whole making things to its correct place. So on this side we have some holes on line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So go to line 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go down 2 steps, 1, 2, and then on the third paint 4 holes like that, and then we just drill it away, and we may be on our merry way, start soldering. All right, so you see how I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really quick, but make sure that you get every copper thing away. 1, 2, 3, and drill it, just got loose. All right, back to work. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you know. Okay, so now I just smudged this right here. What I can do then is double check here. So I have to skip over 1 line and then make 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can double check by if we have good eyes or a sort of zoom camera. Zoom in and see if there are any copper left. And what I mean is there anything on this line that is still connected to this line right here? And there might be like a little bit right here. Oh no, it seems like it's okay everywhere. And then the second check is to see if there's any copper that is somewhere, I mean a loose flake of copper that might short circuit something, but now it's looking good. So we just sort of say, all right, that is done. We are ready with the points right there. So then we are turning over, yes, and of course zoom out so we see something. And then we follow the direction on this image right here. What I mean by that is we take first chip, the large chip, and we make sure that this little thing right here, if you see, little half moon there, and you see the half moon here, They're pointing upwards, and make sure you're like, okay, this is the right way, this is correct, and always turn it horizontally. And then you count the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on the fourth row I insert the uppermost leg in the second hole, like that. And you can look, it's looking the same. And if yes, then you go on turning it over horizontally and bend the legs. Just, you can take just a couple of legs, bend them inwards just so it doesn't fall out. Then you take the smaller chip, double check the half moon direction, and you leave one line between the larger chip, and you just take something to straighten out the leg here, and just push a little bit inward like that, and that is in the correct place. Just fold it two, or I mean one leg on each side is good enough, but you can fold everyone if you think that's easier. And finally I will insert one more thing, and that is the power header, as it is so beautifully called. It's the power connector. It actually looks like this, but I ran out of these. This is just my sort of box indicator. I mean, why try to draw something or write something when I can just tape one of them right there? But I have a lot of these. One line by 15 lines. Wow, do you see how shiny that is? Wow, that's beautiful, right? Yeah, these kind of beautiful things you only get on Nerding and Hoarding show. Alright, so what I will do with these, take black because black, you know, black is black. And you now have two things you can choose from. You could either do, take two, well, first of all, yes, you cut it off. So count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut. You can do it with knife or with cutters or with whatever, scissors or whatever. So now you can choose to use only one like this, and it's gonna work just fine. But if you want to, you can also take two, because then it will look like it looks in the image, and you're sort of more correct. And if you do this method, you are very well off if you take a power connector like this and put them in here, because you know they can become a little bit like this, and then you sorry oh, that's so funny. No, but if you just have them loose, they can become so crooked that you can't insert them into this. So if you insert them before, they will be in the correct way. You can also insert them into something else that there's a risk that you will burn this now. So if you have something else that can hold something. So people sometimes say that you can't bend these, but I say of course you can bend them. You just need to do it very harshly. So please bend them in the same line. So the ones that are, because you know, the ones that are on the same strip, they are already going to be connected to each other. So we could just, if we bend in like this, if we bend like this, we might fuck it up. So now we are soldering time here. So now I did what I said that we're not supposed to do. I folded, so look, here is correct, and we have to fold it like this in order for this to line up. And now we will solder all these black points here, but not all of them, just the ones that we have made ready now, and we can sort of make a little line on the points that we have soldered, and in that way hopefully we can be sure to do everything that we are supposed to do. So I just have to change the way the light shines here, because it's shining in a very unpleasant way. So, are you seeing this? Are you sitting on the edge of your seat? Alright, so this is not so... okay, so please shut the fuck up and just do this already. Note to self. Yes, thank you, self. Number 1. Alright, so... shut the fuck up. Motherfucking work. Yeah, make it work, make it work. Alright, soldering time. Sorry. I'm so clumsy. I'm such a clumser. Is there even such a word as clumser? Well, it should be, you know. And the image, you know, in like what's it called? The Encyclopedia Britannica should be me. Where the frigging frack did I put this solder now? I swear to God, I misplaced it again, you know. I'm such a clumsy fuck. Can I say clumsy fuck on national TV? Well, I'm not sure. It depends on what country you live in. If I live in Holland, well, then you can just go to a coffee shop and get stoned now and can't you? So, you know, you might not need to say motherfucker. You can just say, dude. And other things like that. So that was very discriminating of me. There are probably sort of recovering drug addicts in Holland as well who are not taking anything other than coffee. Alright. So I can't find the solder. I'll just pause now because this is the worst movie ever. Oh my god. Alright, please dear people, I lost the solder. Please write in the comments fields below where I might have put it. Please help me because I really can't find it. Please. You're my only hope, Patreon. You're my only hope. And by the way, I've searched now for a long time. And then I paused, you know. And now I search for many hours, and I'm so tired. Or now I search for 24 hours, and the sun has gone down, so you see it's in the middle of the night, and I still can't find it. Please help me, please. Now it's the next day and I still haven't found the solder. And I'm beginning to actually give up, you know. Should I give up this hobby? It's not fun anymore. I want to cry, you know. I really don't like it. Later the same day. Some hours later. Hooray! Hooray! I found it! Yay! So, let's get back to work. Accidentally, I stepped on a pen. Look what happened to it. You see? It's just scrap. Yeah, I mean, you could use this to sort of do like this, but it's not worth that much. So, alright, focus now, people. So, time for some soldering, eh? The old solder and iron, eh? Solder and iron is coming up. Don't mind if I do. Alright. And of course, this point, because it's now past about 26 hours since I cleaned this, so the tip is of course full of oxygen. No, I mean oxidants. You know what I mean? Like, you know, antioxidants and sort of the anti of antioxidants. So antioxidants, isn't the antioxidants actually oxygen? Or please, if you're sort of a chemist or or a person who is working in factories that actually build these kind of soldering irons. So you see, I actually managed to do the thing that I wanted to do, and now there's just one risk, and that is that I will touch this, because now this is really hot. So now I will just sort of zoom in here and fuck, I did it. And that was not sort of something I wanted just for the film effect of it. I'm actually this spontaneous, and yeah, there you go. So I didn't actually want to remove it from the, I just wanted to move it, not remove but move. Okay, I will actually try now to use the camera as a microscope here, video microscope. There was actually such a thing in the 80s, sort of a TV that you used as a microscope with a video camera. So this is maybe not going to work so good. I see equally bad in every place of the spectrum. What I mean is the optical distance spectrum. You know, sort of, you can have a nearsightedness and you see very good very close, but I see very bad very far, and I see very bad very close. And I haven't afforded to buy this double strength glasses, bifocals, maybe are they called bifocals? No, but actually I'm very satisfied with the soldering result right now. This is actually sort of, it feels like I'm working in sort of a what is it called? Assembly line, yes. So I'm like bam, bam, bam. I'm just, you know, soldering away like a real professional. I should actually count it and see sort of what is my solder points per minute count. Or maybe sort of seconds per solder point would actually be more useful for my particular speed of soldering, because it would involve less floating point numbers, as it's called in Arduino programming. Alright, no, not really alright, sort of alright, yes, close to it, but yes. So positive lead is done. So this is sort of not so easy right here, but I don't see hardly anything. I hardly don't see anything. How much do you see? Please write in the comments fields below. Do you have 20/20 vision, or sort of 30/80 or 90/40 vision? What does the numbers actually mean, you know? You say 20/20 vision. We don't have those kind of numbers where I'm from. We have sort of plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, minus 2, minus 2.4 octa, or like spherical or cylindrical. Yeah, sort of like that. So please make sure that you, if you get a raise on your salary, please buy me a couple of good glasses. Can you sort of, you know, like there's this international association of sending flowers to someone internationally. It's called Interflora, and yeah, can you imagine that with glasses, you know? someone in Bulgaria sort of like, yes, I want to send glasses for nerding hoarding. Nerding and hoarding. Send glasses prescription prepaid. I'm sorry to people in Bulgaria, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just trying to sort of make my own brain shut up about things that actually matter by sort of just having a mental diarrhea floating out through my mouth. Alright, so finally, so now we can scratch some solder points right here. Please move. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Sort of that. Sort of right, just like that. Yeah. Alright, so I'm really getting, what's it called? Fucking mental breakdown right now. No, just tired, a little bit tired. So how about a little pause and I'll be back before you even know it. Alrighty then. Guess who's back? Alright. So where were we? Yes. So if we now look at this side right here and we cross off what is been done already. So this is done, this is done, this is done. So now we have a bunch of cables to attach. Let's start with the cables then. Cables it is. Alright, cables. I said cables. Yes, I heard it your first time. Okay, so from the topmost to the bottommost, like that. Bam, bam, and he's on fire because he took a little break and had some food, had some coffee, so that makes him on fire. Unfortunately, he made this a little bit too long, so he makes it a little bit shorter and just like bam, he's on fire again. He should be called the Fireman. Really? Thinking about changing the name of the channel? Please feel free to write in the comments fields below what you think about it. So, how about the sexy fireman instead of nerding and hoarding? Because I think it more reflects my sort of my real inner self, you know? I think it's important to express actually what is actually your most inner being, you know. A name is not just supposed to show what the channel does, but what the actual person behind it actually is. So I might as go as far as, okay, I could call it just the Fireman, or maybe even the man on fire. Quick and dirty sexual secrets. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just so kiddingful today, you know. If I was the guy in the office, you know, if I would work in an office, if I would work at all, I would definitely be the cool funny guy in the office, you know. So, one line down, 250 to go. Sort of. If you're as bad as me at counting, that is correct. But none of you, of course, are so bad at counting. So let's take it like net for net here. So net next part of this net is there. So I just take a random part of an old leg here. And when I say leg, I mean, of course, a resistor leg. Wouldn't cut off my own now, would I? Remember always